Hey, isn't my Patreon page just like a cash grab? I don't know. Do you really want to know? I'm about to leave town. I'm heading to Maine. And the last thing I should be doing is making yet another video, because I've been trying to get ahead to schedule out some videos so the folks on Patreon are getting what they're paying for, and the folks on YouTube are getting their fingerstyle fix. But I wanted to address an exit survey I recently got and use it as an opportunity to talk about what the Patreon even is, because I've talked about it a lot, but maybe you don't even know what it really is. And then hopefully use it as a kind of a springboard to, garner some ideas to make it the best thing it could be, hopefully with a little help from you. So the Patreon, it's essentially just like a tab archive of what I think are like cool and essential fingerstyle tunes. That's it. Slow play alongs on most of them, but not all of them. The old ones didn't have the slow play alongs. That was developed through exit surveys. Now, exit surveys are an awesome feature of Patreon. If you ever join mine or anybody else's, I highly recommend you leave an exit survey, because they have been essential in helping me kind of navigate, through everything I've put out there, what's important and what's resonating with folks. So most of them are pretty nice and insightful. Some of them are a little bit mean, but that's okay too. You gotta have thick skin to do this. But anyway, it's essentially just an archive of American fingerstyle guitar stuff. Now, some reasons people leave, there's a few. Let's talk about the 3 from this exit survey, and 2 of them are common ones, so it's a good place to kind of just start. The first one is the content. I didn't think the content was very good, which is fair. Honestly, I might even agree with you, because I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just a guitar player. I don't have like a YouTube team, I think of all the videos, I edit all the videos, I shoot all the videos, I make all the tab, and I learn all the stuff, right? So the only thing I recently actually started getting help on is the thumbnails, which is from a patron of mine who's like a graphic designer, and that probably won't last for very long, because I think I'm pretty annoying to deal with. So other than that, I do everything, and I would understand then if as a total amateur learning as I go, it's not going to work for everybody. And my presentation style is definitely, not everybody's cup of tea. So that's the kind of the first reason. The other reason is the tab wasn't there. Now, this is 99% of the time a user error thing, because Patreon, it isn't the ideal platform, honestly, for what I'm trying to do. Because if you went to the Patreon to find a certain tab, you'd have to scroll forever if it's not a recent tab. But there's this thing called collections that you can go through. You can find this button called collections, and it's essentially folders. And I'm trying to organize that better. But there's also a search feature, so you could search for Mississippi John Hurt, shake that thing, whatever, you could find it. But I think the coolest feature of Patreon, mine and others, is the ability to just actually talk with the creator. So if you couldn't find the tab, you could just not even email, you just message me on Patreon, and either I'll point you to the direction where the tab actually is, or in the event it's for some reason not there, which has happened due to like a glitch, and anyway, I don't know what I'm doing. So I just uploaded it, or I would just freaking make it, right? I would just make you the tab. I would honor your contribution. So yeah, usually it's kind of some user error thing. Those are the 2 main things. Now, this idea of it being a cash grab, I had never heard, and it kind of hurt a little bit, hurt my feelings a little bit. Most of the stuff, people can be mean on the internet, and it does not hurt my feelings. But if I'm given the impression that I'm sharing this stuff literally just to make money, it kind of bums me out. It bums me out for a bunch of reasons. Obviously, I could be making a lot more money if I was sharing Taylor Swift transcriptions or whatever. The idea that I'm gonna be like pulling a bunch of dough off of this is so funny to me. I mean, I could literally make more money mowing lawns than the one I'm doing on the Patreon page, right? That's not an exaggeration. So it's just like, no, I'm doing this truly because I care about the continuation of this music, and any time spent making the tabs, which takes me hours, you know, to make the tab, make the slow play on, anyway, all the stuff. It takes hours. That's time not spent doing what I actually want to work on for my own artistry, right? I already know how to do all this stuff. I want to learn how to do other stuff, right? So I'm in the service of the tradition, and the folks who are paying is really, you know, is really what I'm after. Of course, it's a job and it isn't, right? I'm also feeding a family through, this is one of my many income streams. And it's a tricky thing from your end, it's not a job, right? And from my end, it's also kind of not a job, but it also is. And when it starts to feel like a job on your end is when you start paying on Patreon, where now I'm working for you. And if you're not happy with that, you know, I owe you something, right? And that's where things get a little bit tricky. And so I want to take this as an opportunity to talk about how to learn from this and make it so I don't have to navigate this particular issue again. There will always be something, right? But I'd like to not have to navigate this one. So if you're on the Patreon page, let me know in the private messages or comment on the video what kind of, you know, is lacking. If you're not on the Patreon page, I want you to think about, if you could just imagine the coolest way to ever learn how to play this kind of music, something where you're like, man, I would pay $5 or $10 or whatever to learn it that way. Dream it up, because that's the beautiful thing about doing this ourselves. We can just do it. We can just make whatever we want. We're doing this. So anyway, that's my mentality throughout this entire thing. Anyway, I don't want to see any like rude hate comments towards the person who sent this note. I don't even think they realized I would look at it, and they were actually reasonably respectful. You know, they didn't want a refund. They wanted the money to continue to go towards me as, you know, a purveyor of this thing. They were just an unhappy customer. So no ugly, mean comments about anything. Let's keep it good. Let's keep it positive. Let's keep moving forward. And yeah, all right, I have to go. So we will see you. I'm actually dropping one of my favorite videos I've ever made about the 12-bar blues as my next video. So we'll see you at that. Whether you love it, whether you hate it, I'm just happy you're here. I'm just happy you're around. And yeah, all right, I gotta go. We'll see you.